Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Haziq bin Hilmi, and today our group will discuss about halal consumerism and its environmental impact. Today, we will explore what halal consumerism is and why it is relevant to environmental concerns and how specific halal practices promote sustainability. First of all, let us define halal consumerism. Halal consumerism refers to the consumption of goods and services that comply with Islamic law or Sharia. This includes not only food but also cosmetics, finance, and other products and services. The key is that these items must be permissible, which is halal and pure, known as tayyiban for Muslims. So, why is this relevant to environmental concern? Halal consumerism is increasingly recognized for its alignment with environmental sustainability. Principles such as ethical treatment of animals, the avoidance of waste, and support for sustainable farming practices are integral to halal guidelines. These principles make halal consumerism particularly relevant in addressing modern environmental issues. Now, let's dive into the environmental principles within halal practices. First, sustainability in halal practices. One of the key aspects here is the ethical treatment of animals. Halal practices mandate humane treatment, requiring that animals to be well cared for, healthy, and free from distress at the time of slaughter. This emphasis on animal welfare not only ensures ethical treatment but also reduces the environmental impact associated with industrial livestock farming, which is often linked to overuse of resources and pollution. Another important aspect is sustainable farming. Halal guidelines encourage sustainable farming practices. This includes crop rotation, organic farming, and the use of natural fertilizers. This practice helps maintain soil health and reduce environmental degradation. By promoting methods that preserve the environment, halal farming practices support long-term agricultural sustainability. Now, let's talk about specific guidelines within halal consumerism that promote environmental stewardship. One key principle is the avoidance of waste, known as israf in Islam. The religion prohibits us wastefulness, and halal consumerism reflects this by encouraging minimal waste and the efficient use of resources. This can involve practices such as recycling, responsible consumption, and making the most of what we have. By reducing waste, we lessen the burden of landfills and lower our overall environmental footprint. Another crucial principle is the preservation of nature, which is hifz al-bi'ah. Islamic teachings advocate for the protection and preservation of the environment. This includes maintaining clean water sources, protecting wildlife habitats, and reducing pollution. These principles are integral to halal practices and reflect a broader commitment to environmental stewardship. By prioritizing the health of our natural surroundings, halal consumerism promotes a sustainable way of living that benefits both people and the planet.
So move on to the case study. Boom to the halal food industry in Southeast. So growth in the halal food industry, the government assistance, the growing middle class, and also for the Muslim population in industrial growth, and also the next point, which is enhance employment opportunities, elevate halal manufacturing, and heighten the industrial rivalry. And also that as we know, if have a food, also it can be have a demand and provide a new halal goods, and in the international commerce ties between these two, demand and supply, which is that produce a halal for the consumer. And then, what is an example of halal certified companies implementing the environmentally friendly practice? So, first one, Nestle Malaysia certified by Jakim and also commit the environmental sustainability through water usage reduction and also water efficiency, and a greenhouse gas emission reduction, and focusing on sustainable raw material sourcing and waste minimization, and through the recycle and reusing packaging. So the next one is Al Islami Foods. You have a UAE halal certified and also certified by ESME, and implement sustainable farming practice and use non-GMO ingredients, which is all the ingredients are pure and not modification, and prioritize animal welfare, which is always priority the animal welfare, such as food, and then the penjagaan of the animal, and committed to reducing carbon footprint. And the last one is Saffron Road, which is an American halal brand certified by halal by IFANCA, and emphasize sustainable farming and also eco-friendly packaging, and source of ingredient from sustainable agriculture supplier, and aim to reduce waste through the recycle packaging. And what is comparison between traditional practice and halal practice? So for the animal welfare and slaughter method, for traditional practice focus on efficiency and cost reduction, but for halal practice mandates specific slaughter method to minimize animal suffering, and promotes better waste management and lower stress on animals. And the last one is lead to better meat and quality and less environmental contamination. So for the farming practice, for the halal first, emphasize ethical treatment of animals and align with organic and sustainable farming, and reduce use of harmful chemical and protect biodiversity. But for traditional practice, it use intensive farming, high yield, and chemical fertilizer, and non-sustainable water usage. And also intensive farming can lead to soil degradation and biodiversity loss. And for the supply chain and processing, for the traditional part, practice aim for maximum efficiency, and leading to long supply chain and heavy packaging. But for halal, but for halal part, requires it requires through documentation and transparency, compliance with halal standard, and promotes localized sourcing and eco-friendly packaging. So it will become two comparison between the traditional practice and halal practice. It can be clear that halal practice are more become efficient and more environmental friendly. So the last one, comparative analysis for between that two practice before. So resources usage, halal practice prioritize ethical treatment and local sourcing, aligning with sustainable resources usage. As we can see, it use recyclable packaging, and also for slaughter it use less of chemical, and not harm our environment. And for waste management, halal certification promotes better waste management than traditional practice, because it have their own waste management storage, and how the waste it leads for. And and the next part is chemical use. Traditional farming methods may rely more on chemical, while halal encourage natural and organic methods. So as we can see, traditional use more chemical, uh, followed by the farming methods. but the halal use more organic and natural to make the better quality for meat, such as meat and then food and so on. And the last one is carbon footprint. Halal transparency and local sourcing can lower transportation related emissions. So halal transparency, all the documentation, all the slaughter part, all the storage are being documented to become more efficient and friendly to environment itself. So that's all. Thank you.
Halal consumerism sustainability.
Firstly, Islamic principles embedded within halal consumerism. Advocate for ethical and measured consumption. This framework discourages wastefulness and extravagance, promoting resource conservation and environmentally responsible practices. Halal dietary guidelines, for instance, emphasize organic and ethically sourced foods, often associated with lower carbon footprints compared to conventional production methods. Secondly, halal guidelines, with their emphasis on humane treatment throughout an animal's life, promote ethical and sustainable agricultural practices. These regulations discourage factory farming, a system linked to animal welfare concerns, and significant environmental issues like deforestation, and greenhouse gas emissions. Conclusion. In essence, halal consumerism acts as a catalyst for sustainable practices within the global market, between ethical and ecological considerations.
Malaysia as a case study. Building upon halal and Madani principles, Malaysia can improve healthcare for all. Recognizing the potential of halal entrepreneurship as a key driver of sustainable innovation and achievement of SDGs, Malaysia can leverage the Halal Entrepreneurship Success Index, HESI, to promote sustainable development and establish itself as a global leader in innovation, seamlessly integrating the principles of the halal industry with the SDGs. The Malaysian government places emphasis on the development of technology as a means to ensure Malaysians are consistently apprised of advancements in the halal sector. Emerging technological advancements are illuminating the intricacies of halal supply chains, fostering enhanced authenticity and consumer trust. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, are acting as catalysts for halal certification, streamlining the analytical process, proactively identifying potential irregularities, and expediting audit procedures. This convergence empowers more precise and efficient checks, guaranteeing rigorous adherence to halal principles. Furthermore, real-time data garnered through the Internet of Things, IoT, safeguards the integrity of halal products throughout the entire supply chain, minimizing potential errors and maximizing consumer confidence. In conclusion, this video demonstrates a compelling correlation between effective halal management practices and the achievement of Sustainable Development Goal 3, good health and well-being, within the context of Malaysia Madani, thereby creating additional value for the initiative.